I believe that you watched part 1 and part 2 of Samson's love life. And I'm excited to be bringing you the continuation of part 3. See, we know that again we said that Manoah and his wife gave to this wonderful son called Samson. They had waited for a long time. Samson became the man who was driven by lust and selfish desire instead of honoring God with his own life. See, friends, because of lust, Samson fell in love with the Philistine women who later cost him his life. See, the Israelites looked down on the Philistines and called them uncircumcised. Because of Samson's special birth and God's call on him, as we saw, his desire for non-Israelite women caused the parents concern. Although Delilah was never married to Samson, it is her name we remember most when we think about him. And in Judges chapter 16, verse 1 to 31, I want to pull out some things that begin to happen to Samson's life. The first thing is that relationships must be more about discernment and not just attraction. Discernment and not just attraction. Verse 1 and 2 says, one day Samson went to Gaza, where he saw a prostitute. He went in to spend the night with her. Samson had no respect for self or the purpose to which he was born. Do you realize the first relationship, saw the woman, told the parents, I want. This is the second lady, a prostitute, sees her, goes in to sleep with her. Why did he fall for a prostitute? See, in relationships, we must never be led by lust, but love. We must be led by reason and not just wishful thinking. See, the Bible warns in 1 John chapter 2 and verse 15 that do not love the world or anything in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in them. For everything in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life comes not from the Father, but from the world. See, the fear of God indeed is the beginning of wisdom. See, Samson lacked the fear of God. He lacked the basic values to live by. See, as a result, several things stand out about the women that he gets attracted to. One, there were women who were from the Philistine. We also see that he was filled with lust towards them, but these women turned his heart away from purpose, from the purpose to which he was created. See, according to 1 Kings chapter 11 and verse 1 and 2, we get a great comparison with the life of Solomon, King Solomon. King Solomon, the Bible talks about him being so sold out to other women. And you know the Bible talks about in that verse, in chapter 11 verse 1 and 2 of 1 Kings, it says, you must not intermarry with them, because they will surely turn your hearts from following God to other gods. See, Solomon held fast to loving those that he needed not to love. He refused to listen to reason and counsel. And we can see the same thing that happens with Samson. The second thing I want to bring out is that desire left on its own will control and defile us. When desire is left on its own, it will control us and defile us. In verse 4, the Bible says, sometime later, he, Samson, fell in love with a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. And maybe Samson ignored the fact that the Philistine leaders were using these women to lure and subdue him and kill God's purpose for him. See, friends, desire will open a door for manipulation. See, according to verse 5, the Philistine rulers had one intention: to have Delilah lure Samson into showing the area of his great strength and to overpower him so that they can subdue him. So they knew once they do that, they have him. And Israel will never get to where they wanted to go, because they would have consumed the man who would have done all these exploits for them. They promised a bribe to Delilah. And they said, oh, each of us will give 1,100 shekels of silver. See, when we lack values, we live by bribery. We open a door to the spirit of deceit and control and manipulation and a desire to connive and look for ways to get your own way. See, friends, Samson opened a door to seductive spirits of bribery, manipulation, and a desire for control. But we know love is not about deceit and self-control. The other thing that comes out very clear is that manipulation leads to compromise. See, in verse 6, Delilah starts on a journey of nagging Samson. Tell me the secret of your great strength and how you can be tied up and be subdued. Samson is so obsessed with this woman that he doesn't even think twice. So he gets into this game with this woman. They get into a game of, oh, it is here and it's not there. And it is here and it's not there. And it is here and it's not there. Can you think with me about as a married man or as a married woman, when you just begin to play those silly games with another married person or another single, and before you realize, it is within those games that you slide and fall without even knowing. So our obsession blinds us from seeing the truth. See, according to Judges 13, Samson was to have great power in Israel. And although he was to deliver Israel from the Philistines, his lust and desires compromised this call. From the very beginning, his feelings for other women were guided maybe by their beauty, maybe by what he could gain from them. But in the end, they were never guided by maybe God's desire and right values. Of course, we see God come to him again and again. We see that God came to him with the first woman, and God used the situation to conquer his enemies. We see also in Delilah, God later comes back and revisits when he repents, and God helps him, and he's able to avenge his enemies. Friends, be careful when the enemy traps you, because when he comes, he will use the same route: deception, manipulation, and a desire to control you. So let's come next time and finish up and look at the final part about this love life of this great man, Samson. Thank you for watching. Thank you again and again for watching Open Hearts. This is our weekly show trying to talk about relationships. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Please watch, please share, please subscribe, and you know what? This is going to be a great time. In the background, you can hear lovebirds, and you know what? It's all about love. It's all about relationships. God bless you.